Welcome to my little tropical farm. My name is Nancy, and we moved to this small farm in Panama from Los Angeles. We're starting a small homestead with a food forest, a garden, and animals. Please join us on our journey by hitting like and subscribe. So I would like to be able to use banana leaves in place of parchment paper, and we are going to try and prepare this banana leaf that I pulled off a little banana. I pulled it off yesterday. I really should have brought it in the house and done it right away, but we'll do it as an experiment, see if it works, and then we'll get some better banana leaves to work with. So I'm going to cut the rib out of this one, and then we are going to sterilize it. I'm going to put it in boiling water for 10 minutes because that should sterilize it. I have read that you only have to pour boiling water over it for like seconds, but to me that doesn't sound like it would actually sterilize. And if I'm going to be putting food on this, I would like it to be a little more sterile. So I'm going to cut out the bad spots. I'm not going to worry about the edges too much. Well, maybe I will. Let's see what happens in the water. So banana leaves usually rip right along the lines here. And this one's a little small. I'm going to cut it in half. And I'll cut this one in half. Kind of small, but in a pan I could overlap them, and I think it'll be easier to store them this way. Okay, so we're going to turn around here. I had this water boiling. I just turned it off, but I will put it back on and let it continue to boil. And we'll let it boil for 10 minutes, and then I'll show you how it looks when it's done. So I boiled these for 10 minutes. And they seem to have held together pretty well. And what I read you're supposed to do is roll them up and freeze them. And then you can pull them out of the freezer as needed. These are a little big for this container. So that isn't dirt, that's brown from the leaf itself. From damage to the leaf. Okay, it's been 15 minutes, and maybe could have done this in a little less time, but I set the timer for 15 minutes. We're gonna spread these out on the cookie sheet. So this is the 3-ingredient peanut butter cookies with an added 4th ingredient, chocolate chips. And I'm not going to make them look beautiful. I'm just going to basically smash them down there using my fingers. So what's in the 3-ingredient cookie dough, you might ask, if you don't already know. It's a cup of peanut butter, anywhere from 3/4 of a cup to a cup of sugar. I do closer to the 3/4, and 1 egg. So it's easy if you want to do a cup of sugar, it's 1, 1, 1. And then I just threw in some chocolate chips. So now we're going to put that in the oven at 350 degrees for I think about 12 minutes. I might check it at 10 minutes, and I'll let you know how they came out and how well they come off the banana leaves. Okay, the oven got a little hotter than it was supposed to, but I think these worked out fine. Let's see if we could get them off the banana leaf without making too big of a mess. Let's see. Maybe not. Oh yeah. Okay, I may have to read up on this and see if there's a better way to do this, because I'm not sure this is it. Nope, not gonna work. Now trust me, these cookies aren't gonna go to waste. We're gonna let them cool and then see if we can get them off. And if we can't, we're gonna use a spoon and scrape them off. We're gonna eat these cookies. Okay, hopefully you can hear me over the rain outside. It's raining pretty hard. But it looks like once they have cooled off and can be handled, they peel right off the cookie. So that's great. I'm hoping they don't blow away because I think my dog might try and eat it. This one did not peel right off the cookie, but we'll work on that in a second. The other ones did. Okay, I would call this a fail, but not a we're never gonna try this again fail. This is more of a I did something wrong and we can probably fix it next time. So we will give it another go. Probably not tomorrow, but soon. And we'll see what happens next time. I wonder if maybe because it was a little damp on the bottom, on some of them because they had just come out of the freezer, that maybe that had an effect. But I'm not sure. Like I said, we'll keep experimenting and we'll figure it out. Okay, we're back with the chickens. We're always with the chickens, it seems. Or as Sean calls them, the puppies.
They're good puppies.
Now, as you'll see, they are not really, I mean, they kind of run away from us, but they're not afraid of us. We want to give them a low roost because they're roosting on their drink water. With this low roost, they won't be able to jump out still. We could be wrong, but this room is pretty well enclosed, unlike some of the others, so even if they do get out, they won't go far. See, they've been roosting, and one of them just spends his day up here. So to keep them off there, potentially, I'm hoping that will work. My neighbor has brought his cows back into our field. It's only been about 2.5 weeks, and the grass has completely recovered. As you can see, these are some younger calves, so they're kind of small. So there's a whole bunch of them, but you can't see them through the grass. Now, you can also see that the grass has fully recovered in the 2.5 weeks by looking at the tips of the grass. When the cows eat it, they will take a bite, and of course that squares off the top, and it is fully recovered when the tips of the grass is pointy again. So you can see that on these close-up blades of grass, but on the far-off blades of grass, they are also fully recovered. So yesterday we asked him if he'd bring his cows back in. I thought while I was out in the pasture I could show you what I was talking about when I mentioned a field recovering. I'm looking right now for where the calves ate. I'm not seeing that much, to be honest with you. Okay, here's a good example. See, this was clearly munched on by the calves because each one is flat. And right next to it, this is what it looked like before with the pointy, everything's pointy. And you can see if you look around, almost all of it is pointy. Seems like the calves stayed on our little paths quite a bit. So in about 2 weeks, this grass will have recovered and it will be pointy again. Typically in the US, I believe it takes a lot longer than that for that to happen. But here, because of the intense rains we get and the fertility in the field, even though there's been nothing in this field for a couple of years, I think my neighbor used to bring his calves in to eat it down, but he would bring them all in, graze the whole thing down to nothing, and then all that was left were the big tall weeds. But now, see there, you can see right there, a lot of that was eaten, and in like 2 weeks, that'll look like it was never touched. Today we basically finished the new chicken coop. This wall, as you can see, is only partial. It's a temporary wall. We're planning on leaving the chicks in here about 2 weeks. They have this little roost. We'll probably make a better one or a bigger one, but this should be good for them for now. On this wall, we'll probably put their nest boxes, and then they'll being here for probably 2 weeks because they're about 6 weeks old now. No, they're about 2 months old now. But we'll keep them in here a week or two, and then we will move them. We won't move them. We will open this up and put a ramp here so they can have the whole big chicken area, banana grove. No, you stay.
Yeah.
It's hard being you. Their food and their water are over here. I put their food under one of the bars because I am going to get a hanging feeder for them. They have their other food here. They don't love that one. I don't love that one. They get rice hulls in it a lot more than the other one. But they seem to be happy with the bugs. We'll see if they use the roost. They've been using, obviously, the chicken waterer as the roost. Now they have a real roost. We'll see if it's good enough for them. And I think there's a few spots here where they can also roost on the side, which they used quite a bit in the other chicken area. But it's nice to have moved them to a bigger area and looking forward to giving them access to the outside. So the chicks had been out here for about 2 hours. Thought I'd come check on them. And they were all bunched up in the corner over there. So I took some food on my hand and I tried to call them over. I'd like to get them used to getting treats from me when I call them. And they do seem to think that I'm here to feed them. So, no, don't pick at my watch. There's the big one. Okay, that's not where you belong. Found their roost. Well, at least some of them have. So as long as they can use, oh, look at him getting so high. I was going to say, as long as they can use the first 2 rungs, most of them will fit on them. Okay, we are heading into the Santa Fe Mercadito, they call it. And we'll hopefully be able to show you around a little bit. So this is Marcello, and this is his booth, and he is a baker. And everything is delicious. We had these chocolate pies last time. And what is this one?
Mama Luz.
Ah.
Como una mama llena de chocolate.
Ah, that's delicious. And Sean's going to take his last croissant, and he makes this amazing focaccia and pizza.
And pizza. Italian pizza.
Perfect. So this is all of his products. And we will buy that last croissant.
We got all this in Santa Fe, so we get lettuces in here, we get bok choy in this one, and rucola in this way. So this is all organic, just a couple of, I don't know, say that, a couple of streets down there.
Okay.
So that's nice. Well, just
it
come,
looks great.
enjoy, yeah.
So this stuff won't grow near my house. Because I'm down in Montijo,
Probably
it's way too hot.
Grow.
Oh, the bok choy you think
will?
will?
Yeah, bok choy will do it. Yeah, lettuce is one. Rucola definitely will do it. Yeah.
This is a booth with all handicrafts.
I cut a piece of that. I baked this.
Now let's each have a piece.
I baked this one early in the morning, 4 a.m. I got up to start cooking the chicken. Okay, that's the chicken pie. And it has carrots and green beans and
I'm going to give
raisins.
this one to Sean.
Okay, and then this one is banana cream pie.
Oh,
It's made with the
wow.
milk from my cow, the eggs from my chickens, the vanilla from my garden.
Oh, do you grow vanilla?
I have vanilla. Yeah, we make our own vanilla extract. And then the bananas this time didn't come from my farm, but often they do. And then this is the lemon meringue pie, which is also made with the lemons from my farm and the eggs from my chickens. And apple pie is sort of a, there's no apples in Panama. So
Yeah, I didn't think so.
The apple pie is apples from the store. But the cinnamon in the apple pie comes from our farm.
Oh.
Yeah, we have cinnamon trees, and so we cut the cinnamon off the bark.
Oh, that's
So do you
very
want
cool.
another piece of
Yes.
chicken?
I
Okay.
think it's time when you're done, I'll have a piece of apple pie.
All right, no problem.
Claire's booth, and she has coffee and limes and cucumbers and jams, as well as moringa trees. And her chili jam is delicious. We've had that before. And so we're going to buy some jams.
My name is Bruno.
Bruno and Regina. And this is their booth, and they sell chocolates and cacao tea from Boquete, right?
Yes.
From Boquete, and soaps that you guys make the soap. Can you talk a little bit about your soap?
Yeah, we have different kind of soap, and this one is made with carrots. This one is cocoa soap,
Ah,
and this one is coffee soap. And all the soap are organic and full natural,
great.
made in Santa Fe, Panama. This is a water filter, and we have here the filter. We can load water, and in the filter you have activated carbon, and we load this part with bad water. The water goes through the filter and go down here, and we have here.
Oh, fabulous.
I don't know the name.
Okay. We may need one of those after we get our water tested. But so the plumbing is finally fixed. Mario the plumber came by, and we had major problems with the pipe. He dug it all up. We took down a tree. He says these 2 trees really should go too, but he's not replacing the pipe yet. He says it doesn't need to be. The water is flowing to somewhere under here, and he says that's fine for now. Eventually, the pipe has to go all the way through the field. He also fixed our pump, so we have water in the house. But we're walking back to the chicken area because he walked back here and he said, your corn is being eaten by worms and you need to get some chemicals to kill it. And I said, I really don't want to use chemicals. And so he said white vinegar. So I have, this looks like a hoisin jar, but it's really a jar of white vinegar. I poured white vinegar in here. I'll show you the worms. They're like grubs of some sort, I guess. I don't know what they are really. Maybe I'll try and take a picture of them. But here you can see how they're eating it. He actually pulled one out of this particular plant. So let me see if I can find one with actual worm in it. And then we will, he said just put a drop of vinegar in each one. Yeah, here we go. I don't see the worm in that one either. But we're gonna start at the end and put vinegar in probably almost every one of these. I'm not going to video that for you because I don't think you really need to see me just pouring vinegar into corn, but here you can see they were definitely living in here, so we're going to try and get them out. So I love to get out in the morning and walk around the farm and just check on things. Like I noticed my one watermelon that was growing has now died. Not sure why. Oh, look. And Blanca came to see me. She's been finding me every morning, which has been fun. And I see Mama in the distance. She's going to come over here now. She still barely lets me touch her, but she does let me touch her head briefly. She's gained a ton of weight, She doesn't use her back right leg much. And if you look, she has a big scar on her side. She did not have that a year and a half ago. I'm assuming that's why her leg doesn't work extremely well. She can walk with it, but when she runs, she uses 3. Here's baby. Um, I've been told that looks like a machete scar. Dogs here sometimes get hit with machetes by accident. They just get in the way. I have no idea what happened to her or if she had any help in it healing. But she definitely has a little bit of a mobility issue, although she seems to get around just fine. We've found her in all kinds of places. But this is actually what I took the camera out to show you. I had no idea. This is a hibiscus, but it's variegated. It's very pretty. It's actually way too big. I'd love to cut it back severely, but I'll probably get to that today or tomorrow. And here are all the puppies again. Thank you for coming to my little tropical farm this week. If you'd like to follow along on our journey, please click subscribe and notify. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you click like, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.